Hey everyone, today we are back and we are doing a sit down video because today we're going to be talking about how I cleared most of my acne. I got my coffee with me. Okay, so we're going to go back all the way to like 2017, 18, around there. I started getting really bad breakouts and it was mostly on like my cheeks and then just like on the side of my face and like on both sides obviously, and then here and there I would get them on my chin as well, and it was just the most painful pimples ever. My skin on its own is super sensitive, so like I'm wearing a little bit of foundation right now, but it always gets super red. So like even if after washing my face or like from me touching it, it'll get super red. So the fact that I had acne like that, it was making my face look even more inflamed, and it was just absolutely terrible. Like I had mountains on my face. And at that point, I started using literally everything I could possibly think of. I had done absolutely no research on like skin types, acne types, like stuff that's good for you, stuff that's not. I was just going in, everything that I saw other people using, I was like, oh, maybe that'll work for me as well, which is, no, don't do that, because every skin type is different. Every person is gonna need a different skincare routine. So I was using like different cleansers. I was using stuff that has a whole bunch of fragrance in it. I was using exfoliations like St. Ives. I was using the Ordinary BHA exfoliation serum. I'm sure everybody knows of that. It's like the red serum that like went viral at one point. It's an chemical exfoliant. That made my face burn, and that should have been my first sign to not use it. Absolutely ruined my skin barrier. And at that point, I had no clue what a skin barrier even was. So I was just doing whatever just to try and help my skin. But all the while, I was just making it worse for myself. I went through and I spent so much money on so many different cleansers, and absolutely nothing was helping me. It was literally, I wouldn't say that it was getting so much worse, but it wasn't getting better, and that's exactly what I needed it to do. And then I started seeing everywhere that people were using the Dove bar soap for their face, and I was like, let me try that. So I started using the unscented one, and it actually started helping me quite a bit. Like it started drying out my acne, it started making my skin feel more smooth, and it was actually helping me for a bit. And then I think just because I was using it alongside other products that were making my skin worse, it wasn't fully getting better. So it came to the point where I went to the doctors and I was like, give me something for this, because this is just not okay. And they just prescribed me some like topical ingredient, some topical cream. I don't even remember what the ingredient was, but it was like a tub of cream. I used that for as long as they told me to, and there was absolutely no difference. And I was like, okay, scratch that. I struggled with that specific type of acne for about like, I want to say like 2 or 3 years. And then I started doing a little bit more research about like skin, and then a lot of things were going viral on like TikTok and stuff, and I understood that my skin was super sensitive. And at that point I have figured out that I absolutely destroyed my skin barrier, and nothing was going to help me if I didn't stop using all those exfoliants and all that stuff and products full of fragrances and all that sort of stuff. So I got myself the Aveeno oat cleanser, and I started using that, and the cleanser was working very well for me, but I couldn't seem to find a moisturizer that was perfect for my skin. And my skin, it's really oily, but it's also like kind of dry at the same time. Moisturizers that I would get that were specifically for oily skin, they were not moisturizing enough for my skin, and it would still feel like it was drying it out. And then if I would get like a thick cream for dry skin, it would break my skin out. So I went through so many moisturizers to try and find one that is perfect for my skin. I would buy one, I would use it for a little bit, I was like, no, this ain't moisturizing my skin enough. I would buy another one. And I went through I tried the Aveeno oat moisturizer, I tried a whole bunch of Neutrogena hydro moisturizers, I tried the snail mucin moisturizer, I tried using CeraVe at one point. It broke me out. Nothing was working for me and I was getting so frustrated. There was one thing that helped me at one point for a little bit, and it was the Ordinary Niacinamide and Zinc Serum. That one actually helped calm my breakouts down quite a bit at one point. I don't know why it stopped working for me, but it did. So I eventually just took that out of my routine as well. And we're going from like probably like 8 products routine down to like 3 at this point. So I discovered this girl on, I don't remember if it was Instagram or TikTok where I saw her. And I kept seeing her use La Roche-Posay products. And the Cicaplast Balm B5 cream was going viral. So I was like, you know what? I have super sensitive skin. Let me go ahead and try this on myself. So I got myself a tube and I started using it. And when I tell you, it literally, I was shocked at how clear it made my skin in such a little amount of time. And like in the first little bit of me using it, it was absolutely helping me. And I was like, wow, this is good stuff. And at that point I was using, I don't even remember what cleanser I was using, but I was using something. So I was using that for like a good amount of time and it was clearing my skin up. Like I was just using a cleanser and the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm B5. And then for some reason, after a while, I was always surprised by the fact that it was such a thick cream and it was not breaking me out. And then a little bit of time went by and I noticed that it stopped working for me and it was causing me to break out again. So I was like, okay, I need to stick to something like this for sensitive skin, but something that's a little bit lighter. And it was like perfect timing that I found out about this product here. It is the Cicaplast Gel B5 and this stuff right here. Chef's kiss, I tell you. I was so happy to finally find a perfect moisturizer for my skin. This was it. I have went, like, you see how I'm squeezing that thing out? I have went through like 10 plus of these bottles and I'm never going back to any kind of moisturizer. Between that time of using the Cicaplast Balm B5 and this, I figured I would try the Effaclar cleanser as well, and I'm so glad I did. This is probably like my 10th bottle as well, and nothing, and when I tell you nothing, has cleared up my skin more than this has. Once I started using these 2 products, my skin was looking so good and very rarely breaking out. So once I cleared up most of my acne, I was left with a lot of scarring. I didn't have any more acne, but without foundation, I literally still looked like I had acne just because of my acne scars. And they were like the red kind of acne scars, like literally looked like there was a pimple there. So I was like, let me go ahead and try some serums to try and get rid of my acne scars and fade them a little bit. So I went to Sephora and I got Caudalie, the Vino Perfect Serum, like the white stuff. Ooh, that stuff smells so good. I tried it on my skin and I was so sad to see that it was breaking me out, and then I realized it's the fragrance in it. My skin is super sensitive to fragrances as well. But I just felt like every time I was trying to use something new at this point, it was just breaking me out. So I just kept going back to these 2 holy grails. And I've been using this routine: cleanser and moisturizer, and that's it. Nothing else, absolutely nothing else. So you don't need anything else. I've been doing the same routine for about I want to say like 4 years for sure already. And when Korean skincare went viral on TikTok recently, I was like, glowy skin? Who doesn't want glowy skin? Let me get on that trend. So I went to a Korean store that we have here and I got, I don't even know how to spell it. I'm just going to insert a picture here. I got their toner and their moisturizer, and then an intensive repair cream as well. I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. And I was like, this is so gonna work for my skin. Like, it's perfect for sensitive skin. No, like after a little bit of using it, my skin immediately started breaking out again. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I am breaking out a little bit right now around my chin just because your girl's been consuming a little bit too much sugar, but we're not gonna talk about that. But other than that, like, I am just so happy with how my skin is looking. And even with like my scars, I'm like, I have kind of given up on trying to get rid of them And I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna embrace it because I do not want to keep like trying products and having it break out my skin again. I'll just live with it. I'll just live with it. It's fine. This is also a reminder that you do not need like 12 products in your skincare routine. You do not need all that expensive stuff. You do not need a whole lineup. You absolutely don't need it. It's unnecessary. And if you do that and it does work for you, amazing. I wish I could say the same, but can't relate. Get yourself a basic moisturizer, get yourself a basic cleanser, and that's all you need. I get these at Shoppers, so they are drugstore. They're not the most cheap, but they're not super expensive either. And I feel like it's worth it. I do want to mention that what's on the inside matters too, because throughout this time, I was also drinking a lot of spearmint tea that really helps with inflammation. So I think that did play a big role in it as well. Also drinking water, even though I'm absolutely nobody to be telling you guys to drink water because I'm working on that myself, but it does make a difference. And that is all on my story of how I cleared most of my acne. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe so that you don't miss any future uploads. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys in my next video.